This Sun-Gazette video coverage is proudly sponsored by Woodlands Bank.
Approaching the halfway mark of the first half draft league, the team quality is close. The standings are even closer. Every game, all of a sudden, with utmost importance. Hello, everyone. I'm Nicolas Severini with the Williamsport Sun-Gazette. This is the Crosscutters Catch Up. A pathetic exhibition of hitting. Those were the words of head coach Kenny Thomas following Williamsport's shutout loss against the Frederick Keys on Thursday. It was a loss of big implication for the Crosscutters, who then had to go last weekend to the first place West Virginia Black Bears, the same Black Bear team that had swept the Cutters earlier this season. It was proven to be their toughest test of the season. And well, for Williamsport, the hitting didn't exactly show up in the end. They only went 3 for 21 with runners in scoring position and scored just 5 total runs across the 3-game series. But baseball's a funny game, and despite scoring just 5 runs in 3 games, they walked away with the series win, taking 2 out of 3 against the Black Bears and putting them tied for first place in the MLB Draft League standings. Here's how they did it. First, on Friday, in a game in which they were down 1-0 through 7 innings, dramatic hitting late took the Cutters past the Black Bears in a dramatic 2-1 victory. Matt Ilgenfritz was the hero on the day, a go-ahead home run in the 9th inning. His first home run in the Draft League this season and his 5th RBI. That did enough for Williamsport to get that 2-1 victory. Bailey Metella, should be noted, a great start for him. 4 innings, just 1 earned run in the bullpen. Did the rest of the job to keep the Cutters in it and ultimately gave them the platform to succeed in that Friday night victory. On Saturday, it would actually be very similar. Tag Goller hit a RBI single in the first inning of that game. It would be the only run in the entire game, as Williamsport would win 1-0 against West Virginia and clinch this series. Connor Knox would be the real stud of that entire series. 5 innings pitched on his Crosscutters debut, 0 earned runs, just 1 hit allowed, a showing to remember for Knox. Of course, they would not get the sweep. Williamsport, West Virginia would come back to salvage a game 6-2. The final score in Game 3, Williamsport were out-hit 5-10 and would go down 6-0 through the 6th inning. Matt Bardowell, that is, hit a 2-run triple in the 7th to make it interesting. Tag Goller would capitalize on the series to go 2 for 4 in that final game, ultimately get 3 hits in the series, but it would not be enough to get the sweep as West Virginia salvaged that game on Sunday. So the series recap for Williamsport: they took 2 games out of 3 and crucially, as mentioned, tied West Virginia for first place now in the standings, the 2 on even ground going into this week. West Virginia will take on the Frederick Keys, who are in last place. Williamsport in the midweek will take on their rivals in the State College Spikes. And now we turn to the series to come here for Williamsport, with them taking on a Spikes team that has been a real anomaly in the standings. They're in the middle ground of the standings, 4th place as it currently stands, but that's been due to their pitching. This is the worst offense in the entire draft league, State College, batting just 197 with, get this, a 585 OPS. That's about the same, for comparison, for the MLB as Michael Conforto this season on the Los Angeles Dodgers. That tells you how rough that they have just been playing this season offensively. In fact, they've scored over 5 runs, I should say, just twice this season, both coming a couple of weeks ago against the Frederick Keys. And to make matters even worse for the Spikes, they're coming on the downturn as well. They just got swept by the Trenton Thunder. They've lost their last 3, and they're looking for some sort of get back this season. Of course, this is the first time that these two have played each other this season. The last time these two teams have faced off was last September. State College got the last laugh in the regular season finale. Williamsport looking for their get back. If it's one thing, by the way, before we get to our players to watch, to look for State College, they don't allow a lot of free bases. They have the 2nd fewest walks this season in the draft league, just 57 in total. Now for our players to watch, starting with Williamsport. I'm going to mention Tad Gollard again, a bit of a outlandish pick for a player to watch, but he had the most hits in that series against West Virginia, 3 hits. His batting average all of a sudden is now up to 278 with 5 runs batted in. He's someone that typically bats in the 5 to 7 range for the Crosscutters. I believe he bats 5th tonight on Tuesday. Look for him to potentially have an impact. Bailey Matella also one to watch. He is going to be Thursday's starter for Williamsport, 2.57 ERA. He is second in the draft league in strikeouts with 19. If it comes down to that rubber match, expect Metella to really play a part. State College do have hits coming from somewhere. Hugh Pinckney, their designated hitter, is first on the team in OPS, an 874 OPS. He also sports a 333 batting average. He's another middle of the lineup guy that's expected to make an impact for the Spikes. Have to bring up a pitcher if we're talking about State College. Dane Pendley is someone to look out for. He's actually going to be tonight's starter on Tuesday night. A 2.57 ERA coming into tonight. Just 7 innings pitched, though, making just his second start of the season. He can be a real wild card in a season and in a league that has been defined by its pitching. A ton to look forward to this week. For the Williamsport Sun-Gazette, I'm Nicolas Severini. This has been the Crosscutter Catch Up.